Back with another ATL Braves video. Not really going to talk much about the Marlins game from last night. The Braves wound up winning 11-3. They swept the Marlins, something that the Phillies couldn't do. In fact, not only did the Phillies not sweep the Marlins, they got swept by the Marlins. I told y'all the Phillies are not good. But that's neither here or there. I expected the Braves to win the game against the Marlins. The Braves are the more superior team, and they've shown it on paper. They blew the game out of the water in the 8th inning and never looked back. You know, I think that 9th inning was kind of like WTF-ish because I had a couple of hits coming to the top of the 9th, and I'm like, are we serious right now? And I think it was like the 5th or the 6th inning where the Marlins did tack on those 2 runs. And it felt like for like 2 seconds that the momentum was going to shift, but it never did. So we can rest easy, Braves country. You know, we got the job done. The Braves have now won 8 straight. They're 70-45 overall. They do have the second best record in the MLB. Only the Brewers have a better record than the Braves right now. Which also just kind of poke fun. The Braves are ahead of the Dodgers in the National League right now. So, yeah. Y'all still want to be like the LA Dodgers. Okay. Now, as far as the Dodgers, real briefly, the only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying about the Dodgers is because you got fans over here talking about why can't their team be like the Dodgers? And look, the Dodgers are going to win again. They're going to go back to winning series. Obviously, you know, with the new acquisitions, you know, the chemistry has to rebuild. And once it does, they'll probably get back to form. They'll probably go ahead and win the NL West without a problem. And they'll be up there in October. But the problem is, you know, with the Dodgers making the moves, and they was already the best team on paper, and they definitely became more the best team on paper. The problem is people are getting up on here and talking about, oh, just go ahead and give the Dodgers the World Series title as if the Dodgers already won the World Series. Like this, you know, it's only August. You know, you know, World Series titles are not won at the trade deadline. They give you, like, if you win the trade deadline, you put yourself in a better position to win, especially if you make it to October, but it doesn't guarantee anything. As Chris Berman once said for years on NFL Primetime, by the way, who cares about the Hall of Fame game? We're not even going to talk about that. But as Chris Berman will always say, that's why they play the games. Anything can happen. Any team can be touched at any given time. You just never know until the first pitch is thrown, until the last out is recorded. You never know. Now, if the Dodgers, they win, they three-peat, and God bless them. But I'm not getting up here and guaranteeing anything. I'm not going to guarantee the Braves are going to win the World Series. We don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen until it's said and done. That's why I made those videos about the Dodgers. And that's also why I have not gotten up here and lost my shit about what Alex Anthopoulos didn't do at the trade deadline. Because, I don't know. Maybe Tyler Maui and what's the other guy named Brent Suter? Maybe they'll bring something to the table for the Braves. We don't know. Only time will tell once they step on the mound and throw a pitch or 2 or 7 of them in the Atlanta Braves uniform. I think Miley is supposed to start one of these games against the Yankees, which one I'm about to get into right now. If this was the 90s, this would be a very big series coming up this weekend. But it's 2026. The Yankees have kind of been up and down lately too. Right now they got they about 18 games over 500. They're second place in the AL East. But I get why some Braves fans get up for this series. Like, it's the New York Yankees. They're the most profitable franchise in MLB history. They're the most decorated franchise in MLB history. They're the most successful franchise in MLB history. And for the longest, the New York Yankees, they were the gold standard in MLB baseball. Not as of lately though, because like they'll do good enough to win the AL East and make the playoffs, but they haven't been good enough to make any sort of run. I think they was in the World Series 2 years ago. They lost to the Dodgers, so that's all we need to know about the Yankees. So, in my opinion, it's not a big series. Not in the format it would be if it was like the 90s. But with that being said, I do want to win this series against the Yankees because it's the Yankees. I enjoy kicking their ass. I don't hate them, but I enjoy kicking their ass. So, anytime the Braves can kick their ass, it's good for Braves country. And the Braves need to keep winning. That's the more important thing. They need to keep winning. They need to find a way to continue to create distance between themselves and the Phillies in the NL East. I still stand by my convictions about the Phillies sucking. Now, they may be decent enough they may suck less enough to limp into the playoffs, but I don't think the Phillies are going to make any noise in the playoffs at all. I'm just going to keep it thorough. Y'all outsiders got to stop praising the Phillies like they're good. They're not. They're not a good team. They suck. But like I said, enough about that. I don't want to turn to a Phillies bashing session 101 and 102. But with that being said, should be an interesting series though. I know tonight's game is around 7. I haven't looked at the time slots, but I know tonight's game is about 7. I feel like Saturday's game is probably going to be an afternoon game because Braves is supposed to be starting up around 2:30. But then again, Braves division started around 2:30 last Saturday for the Nationals game, and that game wound up being at 7 as well. And Sunday's game is going to be an afternoon game, obviously. It's going to be at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. So, get the Yankees home field advantage on that one. This should be a series they should win. But then again, it's not like the Braves can't go into Yankee Stadium and take 2 or 3. They're capable of doing that, Like I say, maybe the Braves are catching the Yankees at the right time. Maybe the Yankees are catching the Braves at the wrong time. Some of y'all might need to think about it in that sense. Like I say, granted, the 8 wins were against lesser NL East teams and the the Nationals and Marlins. But this may be what the Braves needed. Maybe the Braves needed to get the Yankees, get the Marlins and the Nationals when they did, because maybe that probably boosted their morale and feel like, okay, we back to winning. We got, we can win any series now. It doesn't matter who steps up to the occasion. We can beat them. I know, granted, it was the Nationals and Marlins, but, because had the Braves lost those 2 series, then we're talking about a whole different ball game going into these Yankee series, and you never know. So, but as y'all know, I will try to talk about the games. It might not be all 3, but I'll probably talk about the games when I can, because it is the Braves versus the Yankees at Yankee Stadium, and it's gonna be major. It's gonna be big. So, but anyways, that's all I really have. So, ATL Braves all day. Good job for taking care of business against the Marlins like you're supposed to. And let's get ready to kick the New York Yankees ass. Holla at y'all later.